downtown New Orleans. Ahead will decide the second entrant to next week's NFC title game, as we've got a great one in store between the Green Bay Packers and the New Orleans Saints. Who will punch the fourth and final ticket to the conference championship round? We'll know soon enough as we are underway here on a January afternoon. And no run back here, so they'll bring it out to the 25. Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
That felt like a trap because it looked to me like the opposing front was on that play from the get-go. They never went crashing the ball carrier before he even made the line, and they hold him to just a yard.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Again, it's Jones. They follow up the first down 1-yard run with a minimal gain of 2. Not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Knocked that down for a win in the defense's column.
On 3rd down, Love. And tight coverage there. It's knocked away, incomplete.
That was their first 3rd down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key 3rd down throws.
O'Donnell, he's on to punt as he gets this one away. Fielded just inside the 30. And just a net of 31 here. 40-yard punt, 9 on the return. And the Saints will take over with a first down and 10. A good starting spot for the Saints as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 37. They start the drive on the ground. Kamara. And some room to work. And good running there as he'll take this all the way up to midfield. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first. For one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far.
Look at this, middle of the field, a breakaway. Touchdown, New Orleans. Alvin Kamara, 50 yards. And the Saints are on the board first here in this division round matchup. What's good on the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. And whistle blown, a timeout here is taken, and it's taken by the kicking team. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. The ball upright on the tee, and the Saints kick team booms it away. Keyshawn Nixon now from his end zone. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And a 3-and-out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a rolling in there on that first drive.
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a second opportunity. Nothing big happened. But then again, you didn't commit any mistakes either. Off you go.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
It's another zone defense. It looks like it's open for possibilities, but they did a nice job patrolling the middle of the field and forcing an incompletion.
So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Now with the play clock down to 2, we're going to get a timeout here. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Glove. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Come out and start fast. That's not unusual at all. But this group, they've yet to get much rolling through their first 2 drives. It looks like they're going to have to give up the football again after this one.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. This is fielded at the 27. 42-yard punt, 6 on the return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. They begin on the ground with Kamara. A strong running there as he's across midfield and down to the 49. 81 yards rushing for him now as he has gotten the night off to a hot start.
Well, they're making a real first-quarter statement with a run game, no doubt. For those who remember old-school football, running it, establishing things, seeing backs find holes, get through them, they've got to like what they're seeing from this unit so far. Right now, they've decided to, as you've said, establish the run game, and they've been successful doing it.
And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. It's another first down as this time they get an even 20.
One thing's for sure, this defense has to figure out how to stop the ground game. He's eating them up here in the first quarter. It looks like they have to go to different forces, aren't they? The conventional things aren't working too well. So I remember a coach of mine saying way back when a back's having a great game, you've got to get the ball out of his hands. See how far he can run without the ball. And what he meant was takeaways, not get loose, because maybe you can't just stop him with just regular tackling.
He's having a big game running the football, but that one will hurt the yards per carry a little bit.
Yeah, but the average he's got so far, that's the type of average he wants to take with him to contract negotiations, doesn't he?
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. They run it again with Kamara, and only able to muster a couple down to about the 27. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
It looks like the Packers have added an extra DB on 3rd down. Now Carr. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. So on 4th down, on comes Saints kicker Will Lutz. This from 44 yards away. The kick by Lutz is good. So another scoring drive there, Charles, and an early 2-score lead.
You'd like the 6 there, partner, but you'll take the 3, and I think they have to be happy by the way they moved the ball in these first 2 drives. They have to feel good about their opportunities the rest of the game.
So after the made field goal, 10-0 here early as the kick's away. Nixon now from his end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They trail here early in this division round game as they seek a spot in the NFC title bout. And this will leave them a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. All right, so they got that one, Charles, against the center.
And let's remember how difficult it is for the center, because remember, he's got to snap the ball to put the play in motion, and sometimes you got that big guy on your nose. You got sometimes where he's coming at you at an angle. It's a difficult job for him to snap the ball and then execute his block.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. So they'll come up after the incompletion for second down. Off the play fake, Love. He's going to wind up and air it out. He's got him in, complete. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. They give him a gain of 37.
We saw these guys have some big plays in their wild card win last week, and they're certainly going to need to continue to put up plays like we just saw there if they hope to continue to move on in these playoffs.
Love, they go play action now. He has it complete to Christian Watson. And they're going to get this down near the 35-yard line.
You can almost hear the sigh of relief coming from their sideline and from their point on the field, because this has been a tough start for them thus far. A much-needed first down there. They've needed something good to happen. Plays like that will continue to help them dig out of this hole.
He's able to find Melton. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. That goes for a gain of 31. First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Now Jones. And he is going to lose yardage here. Back at the 5-yard line now, second and goal. Love looking to throw it. And it's a Packers touchdown. Christian Watson, a 5-yard touchdown. And the Packers are back within a score. Extra point splits the uprights, and that'll cut it to 3 at 10-7.
Pat O'Donnell set to kick off.
After the touchdown, on is Pat O'Donnell to send this one away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking, because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. But also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 14 yards is the pickup. First down, New Orleans. 10-7 our score after 1 right here on EA Sports.
First and 10 at the 46-yard line.
So after the run by Kamara, now another first and 10. From the gun, they'll try to run it. And a gain of 4 gets him right to the midfield stripe.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
following the pickup of 4. Here's 2nd and 6. From midfield, here's Carr. A quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete.
The quarterback got away with one there. Looked like he was in line for a pick, but instead is knocked harmlessly to the turf.
So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Here's Carr. A bullet throw, but incomplete.
This defense has certainly played well so far in this game, and the coverage has been tight on just about every throw. Forced a few here so far in this game, and now it brings up 4th down.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. And they'll let this one go right on the outskirts of the 10. They'll down it at the 11-yard line.
I feel like you and I could be in our backyard with our dads right now. What did they always say when they were throwing us the ball? Look it all the way in. Make sure you secure it. That had the feeling of not happening there on that play, that he didn't have full control of the ball.
When that punt's coming in, I have a return punch, but I would imagine it's tough to monitor those guys coming full steam ahead at you.
It really is. You try and get that peek to know where they are about whether you should fair catch it or not, but sometimes you just have to have a sense, a feeling, and just have to make sure, number one, though, you catch the ball and put it away.
So the big play moves them all the way across midfield. It's 1st and 10 from the 45. Love going to give this one to Jones. And he'll work this forward for about 3 and 2nd down.
Not a huge carry there on 1st down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on 2nd down.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Play fake. Here's Love. And a dangerous throw there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
This is what defensive coaches ask of their defenders every single ball game. Get a hand on every throw and coverage. They want the deflections. They want the knockaways. Pick it yourself if you can, but at least knock it down and guarantee it's incomplete.
In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Now Love. He rifles one that's intercepted. It's the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. And the Saints are going to take possession of the football.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
Now after the INT, it's Carr. Oh, he'll look downfield for Kamara. And this throw will be intercepted. Rasul Douglas picks it. And the Packers are going to get this back to their own 34-yard line. Well, that one was in the air for an agonizingly long time.
Just begging to be picked off, wasn't it? It's one thing if you're throwing a ball like that, trying to throw someone open or lead them into an area. But that ball needed to be thrown with a lot more conviction. As a result, it's an easy interception.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls that work. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover that they did on the last one.
They get only 3 there, so it leaves them with a 3rd and 7 ahead. So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. Play action this time with Love. Going for the deep ball. And that is incomplete.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
So on 4th down, on is the punter, Pat O'Donnell, to kick it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. This is run in at the 21. We'll call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And that will come the offense as they take over. Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back, but make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Working from the gun, it's Carr. That is hauled in by Michael Thomas. Touchdown, Saints. Michael Thomas, 65 yards. And the Saints are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Lutz with the extra point, and his guys will take a 10-point lead. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Nixon now from his end zone. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They find themselves down 17-7 as they start this drive 1st and 10. First play of the drive there is incomplete. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They're giving him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
And he'll take this one up to about the 23. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled them up throughout the game, because that was his longest run of this contest.
And he's got it. The ball comes out. And this is picked up by the Saints. And they will set up shop in enemy territory at the 42-yard line. Always costly to cough up that football. These defenders, they become so adept, though, at jarring it free.
Yeah, it's amazing that there aren't more fumbles caused, because now, if you're an offensive player, you go through ball security drills every single day. It's really not out of line to think you should take the ball to bed with you and just hold on to it. But the bottom line is, no matter how much you try to protect it, these guys are pretty good at finding ways to knock it out.
And he gets it down to the 32. 141 yards rushing for him now, as he has been strong here in the first half of this divisional round matchup. They still need about the length of the football here, maybe a little less, as they come up on 2nd and inches. And they'll send the slot in motion left. Second down, and it's Kamara again. They find some open field here. Touchdown, New Orleans. Alvin Kamara with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And his guys now an extra point away from taking a 3-score lead. Lutz good on the extra point. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Nixon now from his end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They trail early on the road in the playoffs. Not a great combination as they've got it 1st and 10. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
I know we're just in the 2nd quarter and there's a ways to go in this game, but that's a 2nd drop. I'm wondering if that's a little bit of an alarm bell for them when they start calling plays on the offensive side of the ball.
His eyes already looking upfield on that last one before he brought it in. And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3. Second quarter action, 2 minutes to go on divisional round weekend. We remind you, as we've done all year, that coming up at halftime, we will visit with Jonathan Coachman standing by in Orlando. He'll let you know what's going on here on a very eventful divisional round weekend. He's got the hook up with Dobbs. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. Give him 10 there. Good enough for a Packer first down. On play action. Love to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
It'd be interesting to see what he decides to do the next time he's in the position we just saw there. Outside of the pocket, takes a throw downfield, it turns up incomplete. I wonder if next time he might take off and run.
Second and 10 from the 33-yard line. To pass, here's Jordan Love. This is caught, it's Christian Watson. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Give him 15 there, and the Packers have a first. First and 10 here. You know, if they could just get 3 out of this, there's something about narrowing it to a 2-score game at half that makes it feel like much less of an obstacle. This pass complete to Melton. And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line.
Now that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
He's going to launch this deep for Watson. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. And the Saints are going to take over here at their own 22-yard line. Well, they tried to take their shot right there, but the ball hung up a little too long, and it's intercepted.
And when you describe trying to take their shot right there, usually the ball has to be thrown on a little bit more of a line. You just mentioned it. The ball hung up there. The reaction time of the defenders, they win the day and intercept it.
And he finds some space past the 25 to the 27. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2, as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. From the gun, it's Carr. He sets to fire deep. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
This time they stay on the ground. And they will bottle him up behind the line, and now will they use a timeout? And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with 4th down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens. And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. Taking it about the 36. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. So we've come upon halftime here in this NFC divisional round matchup. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. A trip to the NFC title game hanging in the balance. Second half action back underway. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And they're in the position they expected to be in. They've got the lead, home crowd behind them, and they're looking toward making that next step in these playoffs.
And I think a key for them is to put together some good, long, extended drives. Work to run it a little more with that big offensive line. I'm not saying get away from throwing the football. That's still working. But they run it more effectively, they may get even bigger plays in the passing game.
Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. Throwing now is Carr. Quick hitter here. It's complete. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
On play action, now Carr. There's Chris Olave. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. That's good for a first down. He's a guy who went over 1,000 yards receiving in the regular season, and now he's got his first catch of the playoffs. On play action, it's Carr. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line.
That's another beautiful throw right there. Gets it to his man right in stride. And I think that throw kind of exemplifies what we've seen from this offense throughout this game. They've been in rhythm. They've been sharp. They've been on it. And they pick up another first down there.
And they're going to get this down to about the 37. Second down and 4.
A 6-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 4 at the Packers' 37-yard line.
The busy night continues for Kamara, and this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain, but I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
Here's Kamara trying to run for it. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a first down. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Play action. Now it's Carr. And this one's incomplete.
And those two just have been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
2nd and 10 here as we sit in the 3rd quarter of this divisional round matchup. Now a pitch out to Kamara. He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense gets a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. In the hands of Kamara. And he is going to have a Saints first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
That's good for the Saints. First down. 1st and 10 at the 16-yard line.
Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. Devontae Wyatt there for the stop. His carries tonight, they're getting up there, so maybe one of those every now and then is understandable.
I would agree with that. Understandable every now and then. Sometimes you come back and you fake it to him and go play action. But other times you say, okay, they got him on that one. We'll come back to him in another carry.
Forced out to his left. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up 3rd down.
But sometimes an incompletion is the right play. And he showed that he's learned from his earlier interception on that throw. Instead of forcing it, he just tossed it away.
Throwing his car on 3rd down. He'll get this one underneath to Kamara. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down. They run. It's Kamara. And he has the first down before he's tackled at the 5. They only needed a few inches, and they didn't get much more than that, but by about the width of a shoelace, they convert on 4th down. Shotgun now for Carr. He's got it. Touchdown. Alvin Kamara saving his best for the playoffs with his third touchdown of the game. And the Saints continue to show why it pays to play at home in the postseason as they add on to their lead. Lutz for the extra point, and the lead is now 24. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Nixon now from his end zone. Oh, good-looking return set up here. And they're going to have terrific field position as they finally get to him, but just shy of the midfield stripe.
We all know the teams never want to use the word panic. But if they expect to win this game, it has to start right here, right now. That return just set them up for points, and it needs to be a touchdown, not a field goal.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And their halftime hole now even deeper. They need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half. I guess when you look back on it, it was just a matter of time until he popped a big one like that. And, you know, at halftime, you and I discussed it. They had done a nice job on him in the first half, but there were a couple of occasions where it felt like he might wiggle out of traffic and take it to the house. Finally here in the second half, that got done.
After the touchdown on is Pat O'Donnell to send this one away. They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And he'll be dropped at the 21-yard line, so bringing it out of the end zone proves not a good decision, loses him about 4 yards. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the third quarter. Your 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field. That's someone who's pretty happy right there. That's the defensive coordinator. Body after body getting to him before he can get started.
Second and 9. Now Carr. A quick one here hauled in by Kamara. Finding space at the 40. And take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. That'll go as a pickup of 32 on the catch and run.
He was not the primary target. They expected to get the ball downfield. Instead, checked it down. And old coach of mine used to say to us all the time, when they check it down, that should end the down. In this case, though, he foiled that in a big way and turned it into a big play.
And the tackle going to be made at the 38.
He's a rookie, and you don't want to get hung up on the word potential. But when you see him make catches like that, you keep thinking to yourself, he's good now. He's got a chance to be great with plenty of work.
1 quarter remains for a trip to the NFC title game. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. On second down, Kamara. And he'll only get a yard to bring up 3rd and 1. The offense on 3rd down tonight, 3 for 7 so far in this game. Here it's 3rd and 2. Again, it's Kamara. And some strong running there as he's down just shy of the 20 on the edge of the red zone. 205 yards rushing for him now in the ball game as he is trying to will his guys to the championship round next weekend. Now a play fake. Carr. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
One thing you hope to see out of a rookie tight end is a real concentration when the ball's in the air, and I'm not sure that he didn't, but he has to be prepared for people making a play on it when that ball's up for grabs.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. He'll drop to throw. They'll get this out to Kamara. And they're going to get this down inside the 15.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
The 8th play of the drive coming up. It's 3rd and 3. Back to the ground. It's Kamara. Yeah, this is only going to be a gain of 2. He needed 3. It's 4th and 1.
This team doesn't mind running the ball in any situation, and I thought he was going to get the first down the way the play developed, but the defense closed in and stopped him just about a yard short.
And he picks up the first as he's able to take it down to the 7-yard line. A solid pickup of 5 and a very solid 4th down conversion, and defensively pure frustration. Here's Carr to throw. Escaping the pressure right, and he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up 2nd down. They'll try again here from the 7 on 2nd and goal. To throw, it's Carr. Caught on the slant. They'll wind up getting 7 on the completion, but they'll still be faced now with a 3rd and goal situation. He's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL, being able to run it and catch it with equal proficiency.
About a half yard from the end zone, 3rd and goal. Carr keeps it on the sneak, and he'll get it. He's over for the touchdown. The sneak successful from a yard out, and the Saints are moving closer to a date now in the NFC Championship game as they're able to extend this 4th quarter lead. Looks good on the extra point, and they open the lead up now to 25. The ball upright on the tee, and the Saints kick team booms it away. Nixon now from his end zone. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Their hopes of advancing past this divisional round hanging by a thread, if that, as they begin here with a 1st and 10 on the wrong side of the scoreboard. He finds Watson. It's caught. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. 1st down. Off the play fake, Love. Quick throw, knocked away, and incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Under 4 to go now as they come up on 2nd down. Working out of the gun, Love. And he's going to be intercepted for the third time thus far. And the Saints are going to take possession of the football. Well, offensively, Charles, hard to put a silver lining on this one. No secret that they had to take chances with a score where it is, and it leads to a turnover.
I love how you paint the picture, partner, because you're exactly right about that one. Look at the empty stares on that sideline. This is one of those games we just want to go crawl under a rock until it's over.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. A CD, they're up big, but they're still passing it. I mean, this is an offense that's had a lot of success in this game, and it seems like they're just having fun out there.
And it does feel like there's been a shift out there, doesn't it, partner? Listen, if you're up, you can continue.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sand.
Well, many times when you talk about mobile quarterbacks, you get the sense that they feel like they can get out of any bad situation. They keep moving around and trying to emulate guys like the Scrambler or the Dodger. Instead, they keep losing yardage and digging themselves a hole that they can't get out of.
And now here's a deep shot that's complete. And he's got this to the 30 before being taken down. A real letdown defensively. That was third and a bundle, but they allow the conversion.
First and 10 at the 30-yard line.
They fake the handoff. Now Carr. Throw left side, taken in by Hill. And he'll be brought down at the 27.
I wouldn't be surprised to see the next step in utilizing this position is to actually utilize more of a scat back in this spot, because we saw the catch there, right? He made it, but he's a bigger, stronger guy, maybe not quite as elusive as maybe someone else you would put.
Yeah, didn't get the big yardage there. You might have a snow back. A good pick up there of 20 yards. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. They've got it first and goal in a game that appears to have already been decided. Here's Carr. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line.
A 6-yard pickup.
Carr going to look to throw. And give him another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues. And right now, Charles, I think you'd have to say their class starting to show through.
Yeah, they were disappointed not to get the #1 seed in the playoffs, but the reality is these guys can play anywhere. It doesn't matter for them.
And if they can indeed hold on to this lead, that's going to set up one heck of a championship game next Sunday.
Let's come back and watch it, shall we?
Something tells me you and I are going to be there. Lutz with the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. The ball upright on the tee, and the Saints kick team booms it away. Nixon elects not to return it, and this comes out to the 25. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
On third down, Love. He's able to find Melton. Well, almost, but not quite. Needed 10. He got 9. Fourth down. They'll run it with Jones. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. The fourth down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down. And he's taken down here by the Saints. finally hauled down for the first time this game. Multiple defenders in there to drop him. Throwing on second and long. Love. And the ball is knocked out. And this is picked up by the Saints. And a return this time will go out to the 42-yard line.
All right, you've had to put up with me in this booth. I'm going to try and be simple this time and succinct. It simply has not been their night.
No, I think that fumble's kind of indicative of how this whole evening's gone, isn't it?
Without a doubt. I mean, they've tried, but nothing has ever really taken throughout the game. That's why they're down so big.
10 yards, good for the Saints, first down. Well, fans expect these primetime slots to deliver some of the best games each week. And, well, one team has certainly followed through with that tonight. Just an absolute clinic, Charles, on offense here. And they don't seem to be done trying to drive that football.
Yeah, and continue your theme about one team enjoying it. One fan base is enjoying it as well. The other fan base, they might disagree with what they've seen, but the one that's winning, they're certainly getting their money's worth.
Carr going to throw here. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38. And they have secured a spot in the conference championship, and now you can start to smell it at this point in the season, can't you?
You really can, because the focus has been one game at a time, not looking ahead. But when you get to the conference championship game and you know you're there, the Super Bowl does loom in the future.